Listen, busy mornings are real, and if your house is like organized chaos before 8 a.m. like mine is, then this video is for you. I work a full-time job during the week, so having one less meal to worry about makes my day run so much smoother. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I meal prep 5 make-ahead breakfast meals to help us all save a little time during the week. Now, I do all of my meal prepping on Saturday or Sunday, depending on what I have going on. This sets me up for a productive work week. So today I'm going to be cooking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit sandwiches, breakfast burritos, pancake and sausage muffins, regular and blueberry waffles, and regular and blueberry pancakes. And the best part is whenever you are ready to eat them, all you have to do is throw them in the microwave, toaster, or air fryer, and bam, there you have it. Warm breakfast that you don't even have to worry about taking the time out of your busy schedule to cook. So if you've been looking for some breakfast meal prep ideas, or you just want to get ahead of your busy work week, come on in this kitchen with me. Let's get started. Alright, so I'm starting with this can of biscuits I picked up from Walmart. They were on rollback for $1.74. Now, since I'm making a variety of breakfast options this week, I just grabbed one can to stretch across a few sandwiches. But listen, if biscuit sandwiches were the main breakfast in my house this week, oh, I would have snatched up at least 3 cans. That would have given me 24 sandwiches, and child, that's more than enough to feed my family for the week. Now listen, if you were to buy these pre-made at Walmart, they'd run you about $11.46. But y'all, I made the exact same amount of sandwiches you would get in a box of Jimmy Dean's for a fraction of the price. See, when you're on a budget and still want to enjoy the foods you're used to eating when money is flowing, it's time to get creative in that kitchen. A homemade knockoff version is where it's at, because let me tell you, recreating your favorites at home doesn't just save you money, it lets you control what goes in your food as well. And that's a win-win if I've ever seen one. For the sausage, I added just a little bacon fat to bring in that hickory smoked flavor, kind of like sneaking in the taste of bacon without actually using any. The box of sausage was only $1.78 at Walmart, so you know I was so excited when I saw that savings. Now, I really wanted the Vermont maple ones, but they were all sold out. So I grabbed the original and gave it a little flavor with that bacon fat. Now let's talk about these eggs. I know the prices have been high, but y'all, Albertsons have them on sale this week for $1.87 a dozen. Now, if you've got an Albertsons nearby or one of their sister stores, go ahead and grab you 2 dozen while the sale is hot. There's a limit of 2. But you know I have a plan, and that plan is for me to grab 2. I sent my husband in there to grab 2, and tomorrow I'm going to send Jordan in there to grab 2. And that should be enough eggs to last us a good couple of weeks. All right, now it's time to bring these biscuit sandwiches to life. I'm slicing each one right down the middle so we can start layering. I always go with the sausage first, then the cheese, and then the egg goes on top. That way the cheese melts right there in the middle between the meat and the egg, just how I like it. Melty, savory goodness in every bite. And this is how they turned out. Now I'm just going to bag these up. I've already wrapped them in saran wrap to keep them nice and fresh while they are in the freezer. And so I'm just going to zip these up in this freezer bag, and we're going to place them in the freezer. Next up is breakfast burritos. I'm using a roll of breakfast sausage for this part, and just like I did with the breakfast biscuits, I'm using a little bacon fat to bring out that rich hickory smoked flavor. Now, bacon fat is my secret weapon because it makes anything taste like it took way more effort than it actually did. This is actually a beginner-friendly breakfast idea, even for kids. Now, I taught my middle son how to make these last month, and y'all, he's been making them ever since. Cooking really is one of the most important life skills we can pass down to our kids. My son will be off to college before I know it, and I want him to be eating more than just ramen noodles. Once the sausage is done, I like to crunch up the eggs and sausage into smaller pieces. That helps it stretch a little further because big chunks just don't go as far when you're trying to make several burritos. Now it's time to warm up these tortillas on the griddle. Heating them up like this makes them more flexible so they don't crack or fall apart when you fold them, especially if you're using corn tortillas like me or ones that have been in the refrigerator. Now I'm just giving these tortillas a light brush with, yep, you guessed it, a little bacon fat. Not only does it add that rich hickory smoked flavor, but it also helps soften the tortillas as they warm up. And now for the fun part. I'm starting with the cheese because I want it to melt just right when I flip it to crisp the other side. Then I'm drizzling a touch of syrup to bring that sweet and savory vibe before adding the egg and sausage on top. Now let me tell y'all, my biggest challenge when making these is folding them up and getting them to stay that way. No matter how tight I try to wrap them, they always seem to pop open when I flip them. It's a struggle every time. I've tried everything, pressing them down, holding them with a spatula, using a toothpick. If you've got a trick that works without using a toothpick, help me out and drop it down in the comment section because I'm open to all tortilla folding hacks. Because this part right here, it always tests my patience. As you can see, I went ahead and used the toothpick method to help keep the burritos closed while they crisp up. Sometimes you just gotta do what works. Now here's the first batch of burritos, hot and ready. I'm wrapping each one in plastic wrap. Then I'm placing them into a freezer bag so they are easy to grab and go during the week. I'm packing them 3 to a bag since that's usually how many they go through in one breakfast. And let me tell you, it feels so good knowing my family has plenty of breakfast options to choose from. No more what's for breakfast, they already know. Just open the freezer and pick what you want. It saves time, stress, and it helps everyone start their day on the right foot. Once I get all of these wrapped up and into the freezer bag, I'm going to label it with today's date, and then I'm going to add microwave instructions because listen, if I didn't add those instructions on there, they will find me or text me asking how long to cook something, they meaning my kids. So those instructions are so necessary in my house. Now out of everything I cooked today, I already know these breakfast burritos are going to disappear first. Next up is pancake and sausage muffins. Now listen, I found this idea on TikTok and y'all already know how that goes. Some of these recipes are a hit or miss. So when I saw this on TikTok, I had the McDonald's McGriddle in the back of my mind, but as I started making it, let me tell you right now, these are not McGriddles, not even close. But that doesn't mean they're not good. We're just working with what we've got. So for these muffins, I'm using a silicone muffin pan sprayed down lightly with olive oil, and I'm adding a little pancake batter to the bottom, then the cooked sausage, and then top it off with more batter. Kind of like that sausage, egg, and cheese donut I made a few weeks ago. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, you could absolutely add an egg or a slice of cheese on top of the sausage. But since this is my first time trying this combo, I'm going to keep it simple. These baked at 350 degrees for 20 minutes, and you know me, I'm doing the good old toothpick test to make sure they're baked all the way through. Here's how they turned out. Let's go ahead and cut one open so we can see the inside. Look at that golden, fluffy pancake muffin, y'all. All you need is to drizzle a little syrup on top, and y'all, it is so delicious. Next up is regular and blueberry waffles. Y'all, this is hands down my daughter's favorite breakfast. She loves blueberry waffles. So when I saw blueberries on sale at Albertsons for $1.87 a pint, you know I had to grab two. One for the waffles and pancakes, and the other will be for smoothies later in the week. Now, full transparency, I accidentally followed the pancake recipe instead of the waffle one. I forgot to add the egg and oil, which probably would have made them more fluffy. But honestly, they still turned out just fine. Listen, meal prepping is not for the faint at heart. by this point, I was running out of steam. But I kept going because I know I'm setting myself up for a productive week. For me, the goal is starting work on time without scrambling to make breakfast. I'd rather use my break to step outside and soak up some sun and enjoy my little garden than have to cook breakfast in the morning. This is batch number 1, and I'm going to pack these up and place them in freezer bags. Next up, we've got regular and blueberry pancakes. Now let me tell you, my husband refuses to eat waffles, but he'll tear up some pancakes. Make it make sense. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm keeping it simple today and following the recipe right on the back of the Krusteaz bag. Nothing fancy, just good, fluffy pancakes for the whole family. If I was just meal prepping pancakes, y'all, I'd be doing all kinds of flavors like chocolate chip, plain chocolate chip, birthday cake with sprinkles, apple cinnamon. I mean, the options are endless. And once fall hits, y'all already know, pumpkin spice, everything is going to be coming out of this kitchen. Now, cooking these on a griddle saves so much time. I would highly recommend it. It makes the process so much faster when you're feeding a large family. But yeah, I'm going to bag these up and place them in the freezer. And then we're going to take a look at everything that I cooked today. Mornings just got a whole lot easier. And y'all, there's nothing like knowing your family is fed and full before the day even starts. This right here, this is how you pour love into them every day. Meal prepping is just one of the ways I set myself up for a productive work week. When mornings get hectic, I don't have to think twice because I already did the work. And these meals make sure my family start their day full and focused. And that's a plus in my book. Now, if this video helped you or gave you breakfast ideas, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone you know who wants to get ahead of the busy work week. If you're not a part of the family, I would love you to become a part of the family by hitting that subscribe button. It's nothing over here but love, y'all. So let's keep showing up for our families and ourselves one meal at a time. I pray that you have an amazing day, and I will chit chat with you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye.